Welcome to Shekinah Ranch and the Answer Network, and today I'm joined with my lifelong friend Barry Johnson, and we went to high school together at Colonel White. And those of you that are on either of our Facebook channels, you'll recognize us. Just a different version, an older version of both of us. But we're here doing some workshops with about 15 young people, and we're going to talk about this, address this issue with youth violence and all that's happening surrounding that, or a little bit about what's surrounding that here in our community. Barry, let's just jump right in and let's talk about what we can do to bring some solutions to this deep-seated problem.
Okay, before I start trying to address the solution, let me kind of put my spin on what I feel the situation is. The youth today, 15, 16, 17-year-olds, are exposed to the internet, rap videos, rap music, video games such as Grand Theft Auto. For those of you all that are not familiar with Grand Theft Auto is a video game that promotes stealing cars, carjacking cars, and quite frankly, beating people up. It's a violent environment. Our youth are in the middle of a violent environment, but they are not the cause for where they have landed. A lot of the problems and issues that they are facing, people our age created it. We've got friends that have just had these children and abandoned these children. They've been brought up in single family homes with their mothers, with no sense of respect for themselves, no respect for law enforcement, no respect for their elders. And because of that, we're seeing a lot of situations with the police. It's on my heart. I hate seeing people that are put in full Nelsons, which is a chokehold. Just recently, there was a young man that was killed up in New York City because of involvement with the police. What I have to say to you young people is, if you're ever in a situation with a police officer, don't offer any resistance. Don't offer verbal or any physical resistance, because what you're doing, you're creating a situation for yourself. Even if you are 100% in the right and you feel the police officer is wrong, he is operating off of what he feels is his interpretation of the law. And at that moment, you have no way of correcting or changing his mind. You're just going to make the situation worse if you do any or offer any type of resistance towards that officer.
And the issue that we're facing here is if young people at home do not understand or learn a respect for authority, then when they're faced with authority in public, whether it's the school teachers or whether it's law enforcement, they're going to also disrespect authority at that level. So parents have to step up to the table, I don't care what age, and say, look, sit down with if they're teenagers, you can't say because I said so, because they just turn rebellious or resentful to that. Sit down and talk to them. Help them understand the consequences of retaliating against law enforcement. Here in Dayton, a few months ago, a young teenager, a very talented teenager, was killed in a robbery. But you have to tell your young people, if you go to rob someone at gunpoint, you're going to get shot. You can't think a young person, they don't have their brain developed enough for them to reason through these situations. And then when they've been living in a computer game world where they get shot and then turn the computer game off and start all over again.
They live in a fantasy, Don, and they think that if you shoot somebody, they've got other lives and they can come back to life.
Yes.
That's not the way it works.
It's not the way it works, and we need to tell them this video can be a tool for you to post to your children's Facebook site. But once they get shot or once they get arrested in the video game, they turn it off and start all over again and try to get to another level. Well, the level that you get to here is imprisonment or death.
But the challenge we have, we all know what should be done, but a lot of times we just sit back and just watch to see what happens. What I challenge each of us to do is to just reach out and grab one or two young males or females within our circle and talk to them. Sit down and talk. Just give them the basics. And lots of times they have not learned the basics. They don't really know what respect is because they didn't see it in their house. But if we sit down and talk to them, it's our responsibility to reach back and grab them. If we don't reach back and grab them, they're going to be lost. And it'll be our fault.
And I'll say this. I know Barry will be committed. I'm committed. That we'll say if you mothers don't have a father figure with your young boys, that's what Shekinah Ranch is here for. And we want to challenge you, we want to encourage you to have a hands-on involvement. You fathers, get involved. You men in the church, get involved. It's got to come outside of our church and get right into our community. And I want to take this minute and I want to invite all the ministers to a ministers gathering that we're having so that we can not only discuss this issue, but we can issue some marching orders and a call to action. Barry, if there's nothing else, if there's anything else, one more nugget that can help families.
Well, it's about respect. It's about stopping your children when they have a loose lip. I'm not saying that you have to physically harm or hurt your children the way we were,
right,
because nowadays it's not possible. But you have to stop them at the onset of it. You know, nowadays when a child says to you what shouldn't be, you know, a lot of it starts at home, and that's all I really have to say.
And look, but it has to be proactive. Just last night, or just yesterday, a young teenager was stopped by the police. The police tried to stop him. He was in a car, and he fled. Now, if you flee from the police, it's not going to turn out good. And so the police pursued. The community is upset about it. But when you have a teenager fleeing the police, like I said, nothing good is going to become of it. And what happened is that youngster fleeing lost control of the vehicle and crashed, and an innocent youngster was killed. Tragic. And this is something that we are addressing and must get control of. Feel free to call us at 937-422-6029 at Shekinah Ranch, but we're here for you.